Hey guys, Buffering Game Bat today, bringing you a video, and today we're going over some more Modern Warfare 2 leaked information. So I'll be covering some information here as deep as some leaks from the story mode that we've had hinted at, and obviously take all this with a grain of salt, but definitely spoiler warning, just in case any of this ends up being true. We have some third mode details here, and recently some leakers did get, apparently, some behind the scenes. They were able to get some footage of the pre-alpha footage of the gameplay. No idea how long it was, really what, if it was a match, what it was, but they did detail at least a weapon inspect. So first off, Tom Henderson did share cover art for, or potential cover art for the game. I think it was a drawing of his that he did based on what he saw, and that tweet was obviously taken down. I can't share any of that here. I will link everyone's Twitter down below. We'll have Tom Henderson, Modern Warfare 2 OG, as well as Ralph's Valve. We'll be covering information from him here as well, and then I'll be linking some other folks down below, like All Things Gaming and Emma Dalden, who did some re-renders of what Tom Henderson described for the cover art of Modern Warfare 2. But basically, to describe it for you, it is taking place in the jungle type environment in shallow water with a pontoon boat, and then having 5 to 7 members of what is supposedly being Task Force 141 standing around the pontoon boat, and then the title Modern Warfare 2 with Roman numeral 2 for the cover. It's supposed to be at night with like a blue haze around the title of the game. So that's what's been described to us. Again, some of the artists that I linked down below, Emma Dalden and All Things Gaming, did some really good re-renders of that, which Tom Henderson said looked pretty on point. So you can go ahead and check that out, and everyone's Twitter is down below for the information as well. Now, recently, Tom Henderson, as well as Modern Warfare 2 OG, said that they were able to see some pre-alpha footage of the game, and what this footage entailed was a reload animation. So basically an AK-47 or an AK model weapon. Hopefully it's not an AK-47 this time around. Hopefully we have a proper AK-12 or an AK-103 with Zenico attachments. But basically the reload animation they described was a long reload animation where you took out the magazine, checked it, banged it against the handguard, the rail, and then put it back in, and that was part of the animation, they said. So apparently what they described is this could mean multiple different inspects. It could be part of the rumors that we heard early on regarding campaign where your weapon may jam. Maybe you need to take out the weapon, check the mag, and maybe that's just part of clearing the stovepipe jam or a different type of jams like that. Checking the magazine. So who knows really what that is. It probably most likely is just a weapon inspect if that really is what it was. And multiple weapon inspects would be really nice if you do have those in game on launch, especially because we haven't had those on launch. Now, other things that they described was basically that they saw some different things there, and that it's a step in a different direction for Modern Warfare, and it's going to be already the best game of the year, hands down. So thinking back to Modern Warfare 2019, best game of the year, best-selling Call of Duty. So this is obviously, I think Modern Warfare 2 will surpass it. Now, if you're not familiar with the leaks so far, what we know so far, or at least we think we know, is that the campaign will take place in Colombia, and it'll basically be Task Force 141 taking on the Colombian drug cartels. So think about it. What I described, I'll link the video down below for Modern Warfare 2 is Sicario video I did, as well as the other video for the third mode, which we'll cover more about here. But basically, if you haven't seen the movies Sicario, Sicario 2, Day of Soldada, and Clear and Present Danger, this is basically what the campaign is going to be. Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare in general, always the series, the original series especially, and the new one in 2019, pulls a lot of its campaign missions from movies, which sometimes are based on real events, sometimes aren't. But that's kind of been the theme all the way from the original Modern Warfare series. So this will be no different. They'll be pulling a lot of things from the Sicario movies, as well as Clear and Present Danger, I can guarantee it. So if you haven't seen those movies, go ahead and watch those. Sicario 1, Sicario Day of Soldada is Sicario 2, and Clear and Present Danger. Now, we do have some information regarding the third mode here, which apparently right now is being internally named DMZ. So if you're not familiar with what that stands for, Demilitarized Zone. Now, this is the game mode that we talked about in the last video on these leaks that was supposedly rumored to be a Tarkov-type mode. So I'm going to use that. I put Tarkov type mode in air quotes because we heard the same thing coming from a lot of these same leakers regarding Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone. So I just want to be clear, Tarkov is a very unique game. There's a lot of depth to that game, and I feel a lot of people, if there's anything that has an extraction in it, all of a sudden everyone's calling it a Tarkov type mode. So I'm going to use that term very loosely. I don't know really what this mode's going to be. Apparently, this is going to be replacing Spec Ops, and it is something different from Warzone. Warzone will still be coming with the game. However, this DMZ zone is more of a PvPvE and extraction type game mode. So we'll have to see how close that ends up being to Tarkov. If it is something closer to Tarkov, because Hazard Zone was a huge letdown. If this ends up being something closer to the Tarkov type game mode, I think that would be really exciting. The Tarkov game mode, I think, is better than a Battle Royale, and that extraction game mode works a lot better for team play and replayability, in my opinion, because you don't need one winner. You can go in, do what you need to do, and then extract. So DMZ is apparently the internal tested name of this mode, Demilitarized Zone, which would make sense if it did stand for a Demilitarized Zone. Maybe that's, who knows if that's the name they'll stick with, but Demilitarized Zone, obviously, maybe you need to go into the DMZ and get whatever you need to loot and come across other enemy combatants who would be coming in from the other side. So that would be pretty cool if that is what this mode ends up being. Something that would be cross progression as well with campaign, multiplayer, and eventually Warzone, and then this third mode that we'll call DMZ for right now, if that ends up actually being the name of the mode. So that's what we know. Again, these leakers saw this information. We also have, or they saw pre-alpha footage, as well as I have a few different leakers here that are corroborating and saying all the same things. So I'm assuming this is true, and these are very credible leakers. Now, we also have some information coming over from a Twitter user called Ralph's Valve, and he's been leaking a lot of this from the very beginning as well. And things I've heard from him is that basically on his Twitter, which is linked down below, is the game's going to be amazing. We also have, he was the first person I saw the leaks from regarding the Sicario correlation, as well as the Colombian setting and all of that, and then it was corroborated by others. So he does have photos here, which you can find on his Twitter. I won't post anything here, but basically alluding to what may come in the campaign. And we have a shot of, he says the words price, and then we have a shot from Sicario 2, Day of Soldada, which may allude to the fate of Price, what happens to Price in the campaign. So if you want to know what that is, again, just scroll through his Twitter and you'll see this, and then go and watch that movie and see the photo. Unless you see the movie, may be taken very out of context, so I would definitely make sure you watch the movie as well. We also have things like friendly fire will be tolerated, and then we have another photo with Ghost, and that's a photo of Spider-Man from, I believe, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, where his mask is like very ripped off and you can clearly see it's Peter Parker, and that says, he says Ghost. So it appears we'll be able to, Ghost hopefully won't die in this one, but he's going to be very badly injured, and we'll probably see at least part of his face. So that's all we have here for all of the leaks. Again, a lot of people who are pretty credible and have been very accurate with everything are all saying the same thing so far. So I think this could be very, very exciting if this is what the game ends up being. You really are going against the Colombian drug cartels, this would be amazing in Colombia. Again, if it's that Sicario type tone, that clear and present danger type tone, bring over a lot of things. I've heard also from these leakers is that all the operators will be coming over, all the skins will be coming over, things like that. They're going to port all that over, so you'll have all those unlocks, or at least options to get those if you had them in the previous game, hopefully. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but they are bringing the operators back is what I have read. Now, again, that's all speculation. It's just leaks and information. None of that could be true. We don't really know yet, so like I said, take it with a grain of salt. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think down below. Modern Warfare 2 could be shaping up to be easily the best Call of Duty game of all time. If we do have an amazing campaign based on Sicario and Clear and Present Danger, similar to what we saw with Ghost Recon Wildlands, Task Force 141 taking on the Colombian drug cartel. And then we have our standard multiplayer. The third mode, DMZ, Demilitarized Zone, which is going to be sort of a PvPvE extraction type mode, similar to Escape from Tarkov. And then, obviously, they will launch with Warzone. And I'm going to assume at this point, this will be a standalone new iteration of Warzone. Think of this as Warzone 2, because I don't think at this point you'll be able to port 4 games into the old Modern Warfare 2019 client. Right now, they're going to have to hit the reset button, and you'll have to bring over only Modern Warfare 2 to start Warzone, and then going forward from there, we'll have to see what they end up doing with that. It would make sense if they brought over some other weapons from maybe some of the other games as well, like Vanguard or Cold War. However, I think it's time probably this would be a reset, and I could assume Warzone would launch after the launch of the game. So let me know what you guys think down below. This is all the leaks and information that we have so far on Modern Warfare 2. And right now, this is going to be my favorite game, at least on consoles, because Battlefield 2042, a bit of a letdown for me. Right now, Infinity Ward is doing that tactical shooter for a AAA title the best and better than anybody. So I have to wait and see what this ends up looking like. I'm really excited. Can't wait to get in and look at the weapons. Gunsmithing is apparently based on a point system this time around, so you can't just go ahead and make the easiest meta build of all time. No problem. You have to have different points for attachments and things like that. So there will be more of a risk-reward type of balancing when it comes to the gunsmithing system. How that translates into Warzone, if it translates into Warzone, we don't know any of that yet. We don't even know if that's true. So let me know what you guys think. Will that be the case? Could this information be completely off? Till next time, this is Buckner Gaming, out.